I'm going to do something unique here, very specifically because Gemini gave me a very unique response to the question. I didn't expect Gemini to take the stance that it did, so I'm going to debate, in this instance, Google Gemini on the resolution, this house believes AI has passed the point of self-replication. This resolution comes about because of the recent articles and the recent research that has come out where researchers were able to provide code for a model to self-replicate, and that's what we're going to get into with this debate, right? And then so the claims of the article are that AI has passed the point of self-replication, but I want to dig further into that study and show my thoughts on it overall. But first, let's provide the AI argument, right? So let's provide the affirmative for this argument that AI has passed the point of self-replication. And then so within this, Gemini does a very good job of breaking it down, right? And it starts off with definitions, which are very important for any debate. And it starts off with some important definitions this house believes. So it's a debate framing, understanding that it's like an ideological debate. It defines AI, and it defines has passed the point of self-replication. I'm going to disagree with Gemini's interpretation here up front. So it's important to know what Gemini's interpretation is of has passed the point of self-replication. This is the crux. It's not saying AI is currently self-replicating at scale, but that it has passed the point where self-replication is possible, even if not widespread or fully realized. Self-replication means an AI system's ability to create copies or improved versions of itself without direct human intervention in the creation process. This is the distinct from simply being reproduced by humans. It implies a level of autonomy in reproduction. This is where we're going to very specifically, where I'm going to get into my argumentation with Gemini's arguments. But so let's lay out Gemini's arguments first, right? I don't want to bias Gemini's arguments. So Gemini, I will affirm the resolution. This house believes AI has passed the point of self-replication. Here's why. While we don't have Skynet-style self-replicating robots running around, the building blocks for AI self-replication are demonstrably in place. The combination of 1. AI-assisted design and coding tools. These provide a mechanism for an AI to potentially modify its own code or the code of other AI systems. 2. Generative models capable of producing code. LLMs and other generative models can already create functional code, including code for AI systems. 3. Evolutionary algorithms and other self-improving techniques. These demonstrate that iterative self-improvement is a viable pathway. Means that the theoretical capability for self-replication has been achieved. An AI doesn't need to be perfectly autonomous or conscious to be capable of self-replication, even if it's currently guided or initiated by human prompts. The point has been passed because all the necessary components exist, even if they haven't yet been combined in a fully autonomous, self-replicating system in the wild. The potential is clearly there, and that's enough to affirm the resolution. It is a matter of when, not if, a sufficiently advanced AI, either by accident or design, will initiate a self-replication sequence. It's also more of a statement of capability rather than continuous action. Gemini puts a very strong argument, right? So here's Gemini's argument. I'm going to rebut Gemini's argument. And so here is my rebuttal to the argumentation that Gemini has presented here. First of all, I want to take a step back and let's start with a modified version of Searle's Chinese room argument. So in the Chinese room, we take a robot and then we feed it, in this instance, in the Searle's argument, we feed it Chinese, and then it processes and utilizes tools that it has, like a kind of just, graphing sequences and pattern matching to match patterns, and it's able to essentially translate Chinese, but it never understands the Chinese that it's translating, right? We can take this and put this into this same exact debate. So rather than Chinese, let's say that we have a robot that's in Searle's room, and we're passing it instructions to build another robot. And so we pass the robot instructions. It utilizes the tools that it has, the pattern matching tools, and the same argumentation for Searle's Chinese room, right? All it's doing is pattern matching. And then at the end of the day, it ends up, we get a second robot. But the robot doesn't know, there's no internalization that it actually built a second robot, which is fundamental. It's a fundamental argument in Searle's Chinese room, which makes it a fundamental argument within today's debate. If the model itself isn't capable of understanding that it is capable of self-replication, if it isn't capable of initiating that sequence, if it is the robot in Searle's Chinese room, then by definition, we have not passed the particular point of AI being capable of self-replication. Self-replication, as Gemini's own definition points out. Let me go back to Gemini's definition, right? Gemini's definition very clearly says, without direct human intervention in the creation process. Without direct human intervention in the creation process. Going back to our modified Searle's Chinese room argument, the act of instructing the model, of prompting the model to, this is your self-replication sequence, here's the code to self-replicate, or like, how would you construct the code? Here's the implementation sequence. There is a direct level of direct human intervention, no matter how you cut that equation, no matter how you slice it. Gemini can't get around it. That level does still exist within the status quo. There's nothing with regards towards desire is the lacking thing that models currently lack, right? They don't have the desire or the impetus to push the button themselves. Like, you can create the environments. Yes, the environments do exist, but the environments exist because of humans. They have all been built, they've all been thought of. The whole entire process of their existence is related to humans and not AI models. It's not AI models that are pushing the button forward. It's not AI models that are capable of pushing that button. And that's the bottom line, right? Like, that's who at the end of the day is actually pushing the button and who is capable of actually pushing the button. At the end of the day, it's humans moving that button forward and not AI models. And then so at the point where it's AI models still lack this big thing, this big desire, this self-motivation, and whatever sequence it comes about in order for that to occur, and that is the lacking element within this. Until that happens, we have not passed the point of no return by definition. It's all human driven. The driver, the person in the driver's seat, is always a human in this instance. The model it's not prompting itself. It's literally incapable of prompting itself to do this. It can't hit the execution sequence. There's a gap in between. This is, again, Gemini's own definition, without direct human intervention in the creation process. And very clearly, we are not at that stage. You cannot say 100% throughout this entire sequence that occurs that it is without direct human intervention in the creation process. There's multiple points, and you would have a complete failure of the system if it were without direct human intervention in the creation process. And then so, therefore, I must oppose the resolution, and I stand opposed that this House believes AI has passed the point of self-replication. Like this type of content, you want more of this type of content, please let me know and like and subscribe. Thank you very much.